to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by the last Umar Khan, joins me. Thanks for giving me some of your time, mate. Congratulations, another win in the pro ranks for yourself. Just your assessment of tonight's performance.
No, listen, it was good. He was a tough game guy. He come to win. He was swearing at me yesterday in a way in Spanish. He thought I didn't understand what he was saying, but it's all part of the experience. I enjoyed it, and I felt like it was a good performance.
Right, let's talk about that then. Before we talk about the actual fight. So he's come to the weigh-in. Obviously, you've done these fights before, these journeymen come over and kind of you know what they're going to do. But he's come to the weigh-in and he started chirping in Spanish.
Yeah, no, listen, I went to shake his hand and he started laughing and he was saying to his team, he was saying, "Tú eres muerto." He was saying, "You are dead, you are dead." Muchacho, he was calling me a kid. So I acted like I didn't understand, but obviously I've been living in Spain for the last year, so I understood everything. But it was, it's all fun and games, at the end of the day, it just spurred me on to smash his face and I felt that's what I done.
He should have done his research. Right, yeah, so on the performance, obviously, you're kind of at this process now where every single fight you're learning, you're fighting loads of different types of fighters, which is obviously part of the learning process. Can you kind of feel yourself as you're going through these fights, learning more and more?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I'm definitely getting a lot more comfortable in the ring and like things that I work on in sparring and like in the gym. Because obviously where I didn't have like a massive amateur background, I've kind of been learning on the job and just finding my comfort in the ring under the lights. And I feel like every fight I'm slowly developing that.
Yeah, and that's an important thing when you say under the lights as well. Going out there and doing it, obviously, you'd remember the debut nerves that you had and that everyone gets. Does it kind of feel, not second nature, because I suppose it's never going to become second nature, but even just walking out now and the mental stuff around it, does that feel a lot easier now?
I think now, before it was kind of like, I was because I only turned pro when I was 18 and I only had 20 or 30 odd amateur fights all within like a short period of time. So for me, it was kind of not intimidating, but I've always been like a nervous kid since I was young. And now it's kind of like become my home and like having all the fans and, boxing on these big shows, like it's, I've kind of I enjoy it and just soak it up now, which I'm really proud about.
Yeah. And it must show a sign of kind of belief from Frank and BT and you that you've been fighting on a lot of these cards as well and getting TV slots fairly high up the card. I mean, Frank has got, countless young fighters. He made about 100 signings through lockdown. There's so many of them prospect level guys that the fact that you're getting these opportunities, obviously must feel good for you in the fact that Frank and BT have got belief.
Exactly, yeah, no, at the end of the day, I'm lucky I've got a great team around me and, I'm constantly developing and learning and, even with the management side and promotion side, I feel like they really believe in me and, I'm just going to always listen to their advice and just step it up slowly. And, it means a lot, like to be able to box on these big shows, and I'm not like one of those guys that come from the amateurs with loads of titles and stuff, I've kind of done it from the ground up and, I'm proud of that.
Yeah. And I take it that's going to be the last one for the year. I think they might have a December show. And I know boxers just want to fight every week, but I take it, is that the last of the year?
No, listen, I've been in Spain for like the last year. I've only come back to fight and I've been away from my family. So I'm going to stay in the UK till next year and just spend some Christmas time with my family and just enjoy myself.
Yeah. So assess your whole 2022 then. How do you think the last 12 months have gone for you? Obviously developed as a fighter and developed outside the ring, as you said. But if you were to assess the whole year and perhaps give it a rating out of 10?
It's been I'm not going to just assess this year, I'm going to assess last year as well. So obviously last year it was strange with COVID and everything. And then this year everything kind of went back to normal. But I had quite a lot of setbacks with dates being set back and opponents pulling out and stuff like that. But, I've only had 5 fights and I'm only 20 years old. So it's all part of the process and I'm happy with the way I've dealt with it. So honestly, I can say that, since the beginning of my career to 5-0 now, it's been 10 out of 10 in terms of development and learning on the job. Yeah.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.